We are live from not New York, and it's only Thursday night. That's pretty good, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right on theme. Welcome to our May 2nd, 2024 regular board meeting. We will begin with introductions, beginning on this side.
Lily Birch.
Joanne O'Brien.
Sean Pope.
Sage Scully.
Megan Carlson,
Jack Pitteroff. Tony V.
Becky Plus,
Laura Henderson. Molly Rogers. Diane Potter.
administrative staff.
Angela Hardy, Director of Curriculum.
Sarah Sims, Principal at Gardner Regional Middle.
Gabe Dostey, Director of Operations.
Lauren Arnold, Principal at Gardner Area High School.
Nate Stubbard, Athletic Director. Josh Farr, Director of Adult Ed.
Karen Moody, principal of Laura Richard School.
Vicki Duguay, Principal of Riverview Community School. Tiffany Cockrell, Principal at Pittston Randolph Consolidated School.
Evie Gould, Principal at Helen Thompson School.
Alicia Morris, Director of Special Services.
Terry McGuire, Director of Technology.
Perfect. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Is anyone from the public here that is not usually here? Anyone invisible from my sight? Seeing none, we will carry on. We will now review and approve the agenda minutes, prioritization of items and alteration of the established agenda format sequence as needed. A motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Tony, second by Joanne. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries. Approval of minutes from previous meetings, the regular board meeting of April 11th, 2024. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Thank you, Scott. Sean, second? Second. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Perfect. Recognition and celebrations. As written?
As written. Congratulations, Nate.
Yes, congratulations. We applaud you. Correspondence as written? Committee reports, CATC. There doesn't seem to be. Recognize in the minutes, please, that there's an awards night on Tuesday, May 21st. And the CATC recognition day is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. Our new CAT representative will be Linda Caputo, and she is absent tonight away on a trip that she had planned before her elected position. Curriculum committee.
Alyssa is at the preparing for the play.
Mhm.
So we met on May 9th. We had guests from the Unified Life Skills Program at the high school and Office of Special Services. And they presented two proposals. One was on a pathway towards graduation diploma. Right now, there is a pathway towards the diploma, but it's not articulated clearly. And there ends up being some misinformation, sometimes confusion, and sometimes it results in a student earning a certificate of attendance instead of the diploma, despite meeting their IEP goals and objectives within the timeframe that they've been working. And so our staff and special services put together a proposal that created greater clarity on the pathway, distinguished academic life skills from functional life skills, addressed the instructional sequence, and aligned it to IKF, the graduation requirements policy. So there was a recommendation that came from curriculum to move it to policy for consideration because of the implications on the IKF policy, very minor implications, but still needing to be addressed. And then they also, Katie Bischoff also joined us and proposed a unified social studies course. It would not impact workload. It would not require additional staffing. It's because of an adjustment in some of our course leveling and enrollment in those levels that this particular course would just change from an essentials course section into a unified social studies section. And what that means is that students who qualify within one of the life skills tracks could participate in a 3-year social studies sequence that aligns with our IKF graduation requirements of world government, world history and US government and history. And so it aligns to the standards. The students would engage, and then we would have as an elective, any general education students could opt into the course as an elective, and it would be a peer leadership course in social studies. Just like you have unified basketball and unified bocce, it'd be unified academics. This would be with a social studies lens. And you could take it as a general ed student, you could take it more than one time because the elective changes each year over a 3-year sequence. Or they could just opt to take it once and that would also be okay. So they would partner with a student from Unified, from the life skills program, engage in some community service hours also, so they'd earn community service hours. All the students would earn community service hours while taking the course. So it seemed like the committee felt like it was a big win. And they made a recommendation to move that forward also, and because of, again, the connection between that and the pathway to graduation policy, we moved all of it to the policy committee.
That read really great, actually. I enjoyed reading that.
Oh, good. Yeah, they did a nice job.
They did a nice job, yeah.
Yeah.
Molly?
Is that our first inclusive academic class?
It is, yes. And actually, there's many more unified academic courses happening in Maine. Morris High School is doing quite a few, but we're the first social studies in Maine that we know of, that we've been able to find out.
That's really exciting.
So
Great to be
they've done this in, language and
Mhm.
language arts and science and other math, but not social studies. And that's just happens to be where we have the opportunity to do this. And so it's kind of exciting.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Other questions, anyone? So that means there will be less of the certificates of attendance.
For this population of students, we would
Mhm.
hope so, and their transcripts would be more reflective of the learning that
The
they,
skills that they actually
Yep.
possess.
right, and still meeting the credit requirements and the expectations based on their IEPs.
That's been years in the making. We've been talking about that for.
Yeah, and we've done nice
Yes.
work
Yeah.
for the students to ensure that they have adequate pathways, but we just
Mhm.
wanna articulate it more clearly
I
and make
think
sure
that's
we
really
reduce
great. Yeah.
confusion.
I think that's very good.
Mhm.
Thank you.
In
Yes.
the unified one, is there a very specific curriculum laying out what's happening in each of the marking periods for the different levels?
Yeah, yep, that
And-
was addressed in the proposal as well.
And I can find that online.
Yeah, it was attached to the curriculum minutes.
Yeah, it's in your packet. The
It won't
packet-
have like the instructional lesson plans, but it will have the overview of the curriculum.
More like a course description as opposed
A little
to.
more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be helpful. If you have questions, reach out.
You were gonna
Yeah.
say something?
Oh, I'm just kind of looking through
Mhm.
the initial packet, and it talks about year one citizenship. Is it that, yeah.
Yep.
And then
So it'll,
rules, legislation.
yeah, we adjusted the sequence a little, but
Yep.
it won't matter because it's on a 3-year rotation.
Yeah, it's really nicely laid out in the agenda packet.
Yep.
Excellent. Next, dropout prevention, no meeting. Finance committee, that was quite a meeting. Rather than go through it, I would encourage anyone that wants to just watch the meeting. It was our final budget hash and rehash meeting. Our adult ed budget meeting, our school nutrition budget meeting. So if anyone wants deeper clarification and to watch all the grueling details of how we hash out a budget, I would encourage you to just watch it. It is on our website. Policy committee, no meeting. So there's nothing,
Correct. So yeah, nothing to bring forward. Actually, we had planned to not have one because we're gonna do the play in April, and then actually we got snowed out and pushed back and still rescheduled for that next week. So I'll plan with Pat when we're back to do that. We do have, let's see, 2 separate things for second reading, and I actually will come back to policy IKF in 1 second. So I guess what I'd like to do is put a motion forward for the job descriptions for the second reading to implement those as, you know, what our practice is. Again, as a review for what we did in updating those, sort of a general description here of we reviewed existing descriptions. Actually, what happened was Pat, the superintendent, reached out to, I think, you know, department heads and staff members to look at the job descriptions, kind of look at the traditional work and then updates from current practice. And then we do a lot of like, you know, oh, we're missing a closed parenthesis here, font size, spelling, spacing. So a lot of really fun stuff there. But the updates specifically came from, again.
Tony's gifts.
Yeah. Came from Pat's work with faculty to make sure that the job descriptions are reflecting the work that's being done. So advance those for a second reading, and then so that's my motion.
Motion in a second. Any questions, comments? Oh, yes.
The Tiger Food Pantry, I think I read something about it, but is that a stipend for someone to work a little more with the students? Because wasn't Mrs. DeSoto, because she's tied up with a lot of stuff, right? She's
No,
doing more and more.
It is. She's actively there every afternoon.
She is.
Right, I think actually that one I think was to bring that forward, like what does she do? And like, I
Right.
mean, nobody could, she did so much. And so this kind of nails it down. I think it's in, yeah, it was well, you know, kind of fleshed out from talking to her, and it really had her stamp on it, on the work that goes in there.
Further questions? All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
So, and then I'd like to advance the next policy for a second reading. Now, this is the one we were just talking about for curriculum committee, and I want to touch on that for, let's see, the work we've done to update that sort of recently, just kind of looked at some of the outlining Roman numerals, titles, that kind of thing, but also clarification of honors and awards. So both the grading system and the I can't think of it now, but you know, magna cum laude, summa cum laude,
yeah.
the Latin
The Latin
honors.
system.
Yeah. So just kind of clarifying how we're using those, and that's what's in that, what this most recent update is about. So policy hasn't seen the curriculum committee's recommendation from the April curriculum meeting yet.
Right.
So let's see, I think I would still like to advance this for the second reading because it'll be tied to graduation for this year. The most recent policy update would be tied to this year's graduation. I want to keep that clean.
Was there an adjustment to math in there? The math course requirements? It's
did
okay
see-
if
I did
that
see
didn't pass
something.
through, because we can make sure it shows up on the next one.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
I
I don't,
It's not ringing a bell. I
Okay.
feel like it. I feel like I've heard it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah,
there was something.
It went from curriculum here, to, shift from algebra 1, geometry and algebra 2 to algebra 1, geometry and a choice, a required but choice. A third required course, but
I
allow
saw
it to be a choice for students as to which
Right.
course.
I thought I saw something listed in here. I could be wrong.
I don't think I'll see anything.
If not, then since we're bringing it forward again, I will make sure that that's clearly
Functional
embedded.
skills.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in that one, it'd be
Right.
right in the policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it from curriculum.
Yeah, it might have,
I think that's
And
where I
just
saw it was just in
missed.
curriculum.
okay,
I'm looking, yeah, the adjustment was, 3 credits. It says algebra 1 and geometry, and algebra 2 is crossed out, and I know we would have put it back in.
well, we would not want
Oh.
you to put it back
Oh,
in,
we
that
wouldn't?
was the
was
request,
the-
that there's still 3 credits
There we go.
required, but that you did not need to
Oh.
have algebra 2 listed.
That's what it says, yes, right, that algebra 1 and geometry are required, the 3rd credit is now
A choice,
a
as
choice,
to which
yeah.
class
Yep.
meets the 3rd requirement.
That's what that says. And again, this is in, I'm finding this from the digital packet from the original agenda that was sent, not the revised. So yes, the math did change. Nice catch. So yes, I'd still like to advance this, yeah, so my question, I guess, to the curriculum recommendation for the other graduation requirements, would that be for the 2025 graduation? Are we gonna do it for this year?
Not for this year.
Not for this year, okay, yeah, so we don't need
You don't need to rush it.
to rush it, so, yeah, great. So I just wanted to clarify that while we're talking about IKF, as we, kind of, different iterations of it.
I just have a question. For the third choice, one that would be a requirement, what courses would we be putting forward that didn't require a prerequisite of algebra 2?
Many. So there's pre-algebra is in the program of studies. So some students who are not ready for algebra 1, their choice could actually be pre-algebra and allow it to count as a 3rd credit. And then they take algebra and geometry the following year. So that creates a more optional path, flexible pathway for students. They could still take algebra 2. They could take statistics. They could take technical math. They could take, I don't remember the course code, but there's a college math course that requires algebra 1, but I don't remember the course code. MA something probably. And then I think the AP course might need algebra 2. Am I missing any that you can think of? I feel like there's one more class I'm missing. Not off the top of your heads, but there's a number, and of course it all is dependent upon enrollment. So as long as we have enough enrollment in the course, then it will, but there's plenty of choices to select from.
Still have calculus?
Yes, but I think you need algebra 2 for calculus.
Yes,
You
definitely.
do.
Yeah, and I think you need it for AP. Have to go back to double check in the program of studies.
But it's designed to kind of go either way. You can build on it in
Yeah,
a more traditional way, but you can also do the pre-algebra or other alternates in there, yeah. So if I could put that forward as a motion to update IKF for this year's graduation requirements, I would like to.
Second? No, you have a question?
No.
You're making a motion.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, motion and a second somewhere?
Second.
Perfect. Questions or comments? All those in favor? I got confused because I thought you made the motion. That's okay.
Right.
It's a super motion. Perfect. Student reps.
Yeah, okay, so last meeting, I talked about the touch truck event that the Interact Club is doing. Unfortunately, we are rescheduling that to next year, just to a lack of time and participation, but hopefully that's gonna give us enough time to actually like put on a solid event. May 4th, the craft fair and the student council yard sale. It's at Gardner Area High School from 9 to 3. And just yesterday, the Interact Club provided May Day baskets for every single staff member at the high school, which is really cool. Also next week, AP testing is beginning. So like all of the AP students, they have all day study sessions for calculus, and like every single class is doing practice tests and stuff, so it's very busy. And you can kind of tell that everybody is recognizing that there's like 1 month left of school. So Gardner, the high school has many end of the year events that we are excited about, such as the seniors participating in the Day of Caring. And the underclassmen are excited to honor the seniors through graduation and class day.
Gardner Regional Middle School Drama Club is opening with The Wizard of Oz tonight at 7 p.m. The costumes are amazing. And the performance is amazing. And you guys should really go and see it. Tickets are available for May 3rd and 4th shows. Contact Gardner Drama Boosters at gmail.com if you want tickets. I recommend it. The Civil Rights team is expecting a visit from Brandon Baldwin. He is the former head of the Civil Rights Team Project of Maine. He now works for the Department of Justice and is looking forward to seeing the great work that the Gardner Area High School Civil Rights team has done. So that's something they're really excited for. Prom is next Saturday, May 11th at the Calumet Club. It's 7:30 to 10 p.m. The prom committee has worked tirelessly preparing, with this year's theme being Over the Moon. It's definitely going to be magical. And no student should miss it. I know I'm not. But May 6th is the last day to buy tickets. It's $25 for a single and $45 for a couple. And senior stuff. As we reach the end of the school year, seniors are preparing for finals, discovering what journey they want to embark on next, applying for scholarships, returning library books from freshman year, and preparing to say a final farewell to Gardner Area High School. One thing I would really recommend is looking at the Gardner Area High School Student Council page, because that's where you can see like the senior shout outs and what the class of 24 seniors plan to do with their future, which is super cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I have.
Is that the first time that's been on the student council page?
No, it has in past years, but,
First one to bring it to our attention. I love that.
Good.
Thank you. Questions for Laura, anyone?
Do you have, like a yearbook celebration day where you get your yearbooks and have everybody sign?
I think seniors normally do that like the last week of school for them, and underclassmen do that the last week of school for them as well.
I just have people sign my yearbook when I get it.
Yeah.
Interesting. There you go.
Is there an update on, I think, were you meeting with sophomores soon after last
Oh, yeah.
meeting, or
Oh, yeah, we already did that. We did.
you did?
But, yeah, that's what we reported on last meeting.
Yeah.
We
So,
got a lot of signups,
Yeah.
which is really awesome. A lot of people are really excited to have the chance to be a part of this.
so interviews will be happening in the next couple weeks, I think, right? Yeah. So hopefully by the June meeting, we should have a student,
Right, ready to
Named?
come and.
yeah,
Mhm.
be announced at least.
Yeah.
And we'll say farewell to one.
The administrator reports. Freshly printed.
LER noteworthy, the district's wellness committee is initiating a Walk to Disney challenge to encourage students and staff to get active and stay active. This initiative also supports mental health as well as student attendance. The challenge begins May 3rd, it goes to May 30th. The district schools have been put into teams, elementary. The central office, transportation, and the school board are also on a team. Students and staff will track every 20 minutes of activity or active play, which count as a mile. The elementary schools together will make one team, and we are going to see if we can collectively walk 1,448 miles to Orlando, Florida. Our field day will celebrate this challenge by having Disney-themed events. Let's go. LER challenge, staff absences continue to be a challenge. We are using our district ed techs to cover classes daily. Riverview noteworthy. We are excited for the upcoming field trips and want to thank the GEPTA, our Gardner Elementary PTA, for helping us fund the transportation costs for our trips. The whole school will be going to the Merrill Auditorium for a Portland Symphony Orchestra youth show titled Carnival of the Animals. Remix. Carnival of the Animals Remix. Thank you, Mrs. Guyshaker, for organizing this field trip. Third grade will be going to the Hidden Valley Nature Center to hike and observe vernal pools to see what's developing beneath the surface, and their hike will also include identifying different tree species. Fourth grade just had the Chewonki visit with their traveling nature history program. Fifth grade is going to see the hurricane hunters at the Jetport. RVCS was one of 4 schools invited by NOAA to attend. Fifth grade has also been raising trout and will release them later this month as part of their water studies. That also includes attending the Children's Water Festival at USM. They will culminate their 5th grade year with their annual trip to the Sea Dogs game that they fundraised for to cover the entire cost of the trip. You're having a good time. Their challenge, testing is coming up, and that always is stressful for both teachers and students as it changes the daily routine. We tell our students that standardized testing is only one tool in our toolbox that we use to measure students' growth and adjust our teachings. Some students test well and will fly through math and reading. Unfortunately, these tests don't account for students whose strengths may be in the arts or with hands-on projects, or that may have a lot of test anxiety. Helen Thompson, noteworthy. Our whole school enjoyed a visit from the Theater of Monmouth performing The Velveteen Rabbit, sponsored by our PTA. This exciting opportunity allows us to bring the event to our students without any travel required. Additionally, our school walls are lined with beautiful works of art inspired by our art teacher, Ms. Hamzavi. Ms. Hamzavi is preparing a map for our HT Art Walk to be a highlight during the Peter Pan Festival Fair, June 1st, which will be open to our entire community. Their challenge, staffing and staff absences continue to be a challenge at HT. PRCS noteworthy. We were excited to finally host our 8th annual PRCS Palooza after Mother Nature threw us a curveball earlier in April. Grades 4 and 5 did a wonderful job in our first of 3 spring concerts, and we very recently held our school-wide planting day, where all students got to play in the dirt while planting seeds in preparation for our June 1st plant sale. Our challenge, recent practices of our safety drills highlighted a need for additional resources. Any questions?
What resources do you need for the safety drills?
Great question. We all have walkie-talkies. However, recently we were allocated some higher level with a little more ability. And so those really are proving valuable. And we would love to see an addition, replace our older models, about 10 or 12 of them, so that everyone has the same capacity with the new model. Updated walkie-talkies.
All right, secondary, here we go. All right, at Gardner Regional Middle School, so we just ended our most recent reading book challenge for the school year. We do them all year long. Students in our building who have participated, which is most of them, have logged reading over 175,000 pages so far this school year. And that's just the kids who have participated. And so for every 150 pages, they fill out a star, we have a tree, and they put them up. But our coaches also have worked collaboratively to also bring math into the reading and kind of connect them. And they do this SD mystery where they have to kind of use clues to figure out exactly how many pages they think that current challenge. And so then they get treats for people who participate. In the last challenge, we actually had 87% of the kids who participated, which was almost the whole school, get it right. And so it was very big. It was like this really awesome thing, and the teachers work with them. And so a lot of excitement just around reading and math, and yay, that's always a huge win. So just really exciting. We wanted to really highlight that and give a huge shout out to our coaches for helping bring both math and reading to life for our kiddos. So we're on to our last reading challenge of the year right now. So we're excited to see where that goes. Our challenge right now is we are receiving a large number of medical referrals from doctors for students to get IEPs and 504 plans off of the various medical diagnoses kids are getting. It can create a lot of friction with families because they feel that what they're being told is that they are automatically going to get IEPs and 504s, and then we have to walk them through the process, and there can be just a friction layer. And I know we're not alone in seeing that, but it definitely is a thing we're seeing a huge uptick in right now. So we work with the families to share accurate information and about the process and work to collaborate to find those supports and go through, but just something to note. At the high school, noteworthy, they enjoyed a visit from author Gareth Hines. Mr. Hines presented for students during periods 1 to 3 in the Little Theater, and then worked with smaller groups of students during period 4. Also, a huge congratulations to CATC students, Brett Breton, Jack Crutcher, and Skylar Libby for attending the Pro Start invitation and making it to the national competition in Baltimore.
Wow.
All right, their end of year calendar is now available on the website and has been sent out to families. Graduation will be held June 8th at the Augusta Civic Center, starting at 5 p.m. And also this year, they're working to add a block party to our graduation festivities. They want to be a senior all over again. And there's going to be music, food trucks, and fun events for our seniors. The current challenge they're facing is at the end of the school year, as it's fast approaching, it has been a challenge to find available days for all of the end of year events. Yes, we're all feeling that. Kennebec Neighbors Adult Education noteworthy. While they are continuing to serve our learners or even welcome several new learners, the significant planning for fall is already picking up. Academic and enrichment courses are being scheduled and emerging. So, that's an awesome thing. Challenge, they always seem to learn more about community or individual needs when that influx of spring intakes and begins and they begin planning their enrichment. Of course, this always comes after budgets. It means some creative work has to be done this time of year in order to prepare and meet those needs. In athletics, the regular season spring sports games are underway at the high school. and will be starting shortly at the middle school. We have big numbers in girls lacrosse, which is 40, and boys lacrosse 38. And our high school track team and middle school track team remain large. We have added unified bocce to our spring sports offerings and have brought back boys tennis in the form of a club. I'm very excited about bocce. I'm already signed up with a team. I was like, I think like we have 6 teams already going at the middle school. Finding field space, challenge-wise, is for all of our spring sports is definitely a challenge. The weather, along with the Quimby field not being available for baseball this spring, has created quite the challenge for the middle school baseball team. In addition, the field at the Boys and Girls Club is currently not available to be played on until the first mow, which is probably sometime in May. Questions?
Let's see. Well, the first one, Quimby Field, what's happening with Quimby Field?
Quimby Field is undergoing some sort of reconstruction. So we aren't able to use that until that's done. I guess the project was put on hold because of the weather. And so I don't know if it's started yet or not, but middle school is used to practice there. They've always played their games at the high school, but now they're having to practice at the high school after our high school teams practice. So it kind of creates an issue. And the middle school field, the Boys and Girls Club field, which you're very familiar with, and nobody can use that, and now until probably the middle of May. So we've always had lacrosse practices there in the spring when we have games going on the field, and so it's been a challenge.
We're short a field or two.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
And I will continue reading for, I'll just voluntold myself for the system directors. Business office, the challenge they're struggling with right now is with the resignation of the accounts payable specialist. The business office will soon once again be operating shorthanded. The concern of the business manager is that the summer is one of the busiest times of the year, and that is fast approaching. For technology and noteworthy, on May 23rd, a group of GRMS students and staff will attend the all-day tech camp conference at UMaine Orono. It's a great opportunity for learning and collaboration with hundreds of other schools from all over Maine. It is always a great experience. In special services, noteworthy, the Office of Special Services is currently interviewing and hiring staff for open positions, and we've encountered some promising candidates. Challenges, the special educators in our life skills programs are facing challenges in securing community employment opportunities for their students, as community-based work experiences are critical for successful adult life. The district is actively exploring various options and opportunities to address this issue. In nutrition, noteworthy, remote meals went off without a hitch. They fed over 310 students at breakfast and lunch on the remote snow day we just most recently had. Challenge, the biggest challenge is not having subs. Usually there are not necessarily a lot of absences, but it does happen that I have 4 staff members right now that are all related that had a death in the family that are going to be out at the same time, and gotta be the kids. In curriculum, noteworthy and a challenge, it says, so I just wanted to clarify. As noted previously, May is the season of testing. Testing is conducted across all grade levels to include Math iReady assessment, NWEA through-year state assessments in reading and math, the state science assessment, and advanced placement testing for AP courses at the high school. This requires significant coordination across schools and central office departments, adherence to rules and procedures as defined by the Maine Department of Ed, and ongoing communication. The noteworthy, the Maine Department of Education released their preliminary allocations for ESSA, ESEA, is that how they say it? ESSA, right? Okay, just want to make sure. Title funds on April 26, 2024. At this point, we have not had a significant reduction in funding for the 24-25 academic year. Yay! As a reminder, the funds for Title 1, 2, 9, 4, and 5, and they support staffing to support math and reading interventions for elementary learners, a class size reduction teacher at the elementary level, and some professional development funds. So detailed information will be made available on the MSAD11 website under ESSA, ESEA, funds, public comment in the Explore section as soon as possible. The end.
Wow. That was wonderful to listen to. Thank you. She got the memo. We're moving right along.
Oh, sure, now Dave shows up.
It's okay, you're off the hook. I hope the tickle went away. Huh? Change of seasons.
Yes.
Okay, no meeting for wellness, no meeting for Hope Field. General information as written, with the exception of, we have a Basketball Hall of Fame Hoop Hall Invitational Basketball Tournament in Springfield, Massachusetts. And we have our girls' basketball coach, Brittany Giro, here to tell us why we should support this.
Hi, I'm the girls' basketball coach. I'm Brittany Sally Giro. So we have an opportunity to play in a tournament in Springfield, Mass over Martin Luther King weekend. We have a 4-day weekend. I think we have like maybe a half day Friday and no school Monday, usually somewhere around there. It's a guaranteed 2 games. It is bracket style play. We could play more and play for like a championship. The cool part about this tournament is that we would also get tickets to go to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, which I just think would be a really good opportunity for these kids. Just give them a little culture about basketball and the sport that they love and just learning the history of it. I have a fundraiser planned this summer that would fund the entire cost. The cost is $500 for our team, and that includes like registration for the tournament and the Hall of Fame tickets. We would have to pay for hotels. There's specific hotels that they would have us stay in, but that would be an additional cost that we would have to pay for. And I'm really thinking the fundraiser that I have planned this summer will cover all of that so that there'll be no cost to parents. We would not need transportation. I would have parents with we have a great group of parents and they'll want to go. So they'll drive their own kids most likely. And we would all stay in the same hotel together. Myself and my assistant coach would be with them. We would have the kids stay like 4 athletes to a room with parents and coaches all on the same floor. And I think this would be a great opportunity for them.
Is there an insurance risk of parents driving their own athletes or driving other athletes?
So in the past, like during the season, if a parent is to drive another athlete, like it's like a 2-way note system where like the parent of the child sends a note to Nate and then the parent taking the child also sends a note to Nate so that there's like liability both ways. So like, yes, I have this child.
Big note system.
Yes.
Okay. Other questions from board members?
Is this a nationwide tourney or?
It's open to anybody. That's what it says. It's actually a tournament that's always been held for prep schools. I've actually been to the tournament to watch the Flag Boys play a couple years ago. It's really cool. And this is the first year that they're opening it up to public high schools.
I love any opportunity for our kids to leave the state of Maine and just see something else that's out there, and Springfield is really a fun place. The Hall of Fame is very cool. Yeah.
It's the home of Dr. Seuss.
It is the home of Dr. Seuss.
I went there the last time I went.
And he wants us all to go there. I think it's great. Board members, other questions? I think it's awesome too. So this is something we need to approve, because she'll be raising money and because it's just what we do. We approve these kind of field trips. So I'm looking for a motion from someone to, thank you, Matt, and a second from Tony to say that this is a great idea. And if there are no more questions, we will vote. All those in favor? Motion carries. Go to Springfield.
Thanks.
Raise money. Make us all support you.
Thank you.
You don't have to stay.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay. And then staff transfers as written. Nominations,
So we need to vote on this one
sorry.
and then we need to vote on the new.
So this one and then this one.
Yeah.
So we have, yes. So nominations, we have Catherine Smith, adaptive PE teacher. It's a contracted position. Motion to approve. Second from Diane. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
I had a question.
Oh, sorry.
So this was already in the budget that we were talking about last time, the approved budget, this
This
position.
is for this school year. You were
Right.
working on next school year's budget. So are you asking if we have the funds for this school year? Are you able to address that at all? How that's funded? For the adapted PE position, contracted position?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, we did not have funds for it in this budget, but because of all of the unfilled positions that we have unfilled, we're able to shift funds to pay for that.
Okay.
It's a requirement. We actually have to contract with this and we're required to provide this service to students.
Yeah, we don't have a choice.
Do we anticipate continuing it next year?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, great.
And we'll have money because we have unfilled positions.
They'll have reserved funds for that
Yes.
position for
Right,
next year.
yes.
We are mandated to start this position sooner.
Excellent. New hire.
We need a
Oh,
vote.
I'm sorry, we were in the middle of it. All those in favor? No opposed. Okay, motion carries. Nominations for 24-25 school year, new hires. We have Emily Dewan, pre-K, Kristen Rue, grade 3, Tim Sear, occupational therapist, Trisha Hill, grade 3.
And we stop there.
Stop there for the new hires. So motion please to approve this first group. By Molly, second by Matt. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's see, second year probationary teachers, Monica Jimenez.
So we can, because these are
Holy
all
smokes, that's, yeah,
continuing.
such
you
a
can-
long
You have
list.
a choice here. You can vote all of the continuing contract teachers, which includes section B, second year probationary, section C, continuing contract, section D, administrative contract, and section E, administrative contract 2-year at once, or you can break them up by sections.
Does anyone have an opposition to doing it as a block? One entire block?
No.
All right then, so I would request please a motion to approve the block.
So
Okay, second by Matt. All those in favor? Motion carries. That's so great because those were a lot of names. As good as I am with Onyx. Okay, new business. Discussion whether or not to give seniors their used Chromebooks.
I make a motion that we do so.
I would
Yeah.
second that.
It's a new business because we approve it every single year.
We do.
Yeah,
Well, we
right.
do, but we have to walk through the steps of it every single time. So
I was gonna ask, is it a practice? Is it a past practice that we've?
it has become a past practice, yes. Probably,
Since I've been here 5
yeah,
years.
5 or
Yeah.
6 years, I think.
We've been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah.
The Chromebooks right now, if you look on eBay, the Chromebooks that the seniors have are down to worth about $45. They're really expected a life is probably a couple more years, which gives the kids that are going to CATC or EMCC or anything a little bit of a head start for a computer when they go. And then if we kept those laptops, some of the batteries are gonna need to be replaced or whatever. So it's been a great process for us since we started getting the laptops to kids. It's kind of like a handout.
Thank you. Angela, would you like to say anything?
Unless there's further questions.
Okay. Any other questions? So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of gifting our seniors their Chromebooks?
The ones that graduate.
The ones
Just-
that graduate,
yes.
correct.
With clarification.
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't graduate, or if you're still doing your credit recovery, that's a firm no. Good clarification. Thank you. All right, next, board chair. So for a month, I was going to report on my conference. I am an elected member of the National School Boards Association Board of Directors, Eastern Region Director. And with that, There are no local dollars that are used to do any of that. It's all done at a national level. But I am able to travel around the country to national conferences to advocate for kids in many different ways. In Washington, DC, we went to New Orleans. We'll go to Las Vegas, which is weird, in October, to again, to regionally celebrate students and see what kids are doing across the country, because while we're all learning similar things, we're not all learning the same. And some of the differences that that are very apparent as you leave Maine are that there's more comparable traits between urban and rural than you might think. The problems are the same, the scale and the scope is maybe different. So it's been really interesting to learn to know other superintendents, other executive directors, other board members across the country and how their systems work. Systems are not the same. Maine's school boards, I've heard it forever, are unique, and they really are. We are one of the only states that, again, represent students and not constituents. And everywhere I go and I say that, people say, what? That's not how that works, but it's absolutely how it works. But then in other places, you have to have a degree to serve on a school board. You get paid to be on a school board. There's all different levels of expertise, commitment, and just layers, just like in public education. It's very much a picture of public education. So with that said, I went to New Orleans and was able to meet Ruby Bridges, spent some time with Ruby Bridges, which was just so very cool. And she gave us all a book, 2 books actually, and I will pass them around so you can see them. Ruby Bridges, this is your time, and dear Ruby, here are hearts. So I will pass those around so you can see those. And also another one of our speakers was Tim Shriver. And he came onto the stage and I thought, geez, he looks like a Kennedy. And he's a Kennedy. It's the hair. He's got the Kennedy hair. But he works, he has an organization called the Dignity Index. And it's the purpose is to help groups talk through difficult conversations with respect and with dignity, and to come out on the other side not divided and not hating, where no one has to give up their idea, but that maybe one has to understand another idea. And how do we integrate those things together with dignity and respect? So I passed the books that way. I'll pass these 3 things that way. And it's really an important, it sounds a little fluffy because we have all this social emotional stuff going on, but if we don't look at it, we just keep being divided and angry. So what I do notice is that school board members, again, across the country, they all come from different viewpoints, politically and otherwise. And I can honestly say from our board of directors, the National School Board of Directors, which is like 21 people, I have no idea. And maybe I have my head in the sand, but I have no idea what anybody's political affiliations are, because that's not what we work on. We work on how do we make education more available to all students, no matter where they live, no matter rich, poor, any of that. That's not the important part. The important part is that we're supporting students to become the best versions of themselves that they can become as they become adults and need to be citizens of the world, which is complicated. So I'm just really grateful for these opportunities. I will continue to bring things back for us to see. I went to a little workshop on reframing behavior, and they'd like to provide districts with, this is actually for you, for
Good handout.
help with behaviors and some autism services, and there's all sorts of things that they're working to do to help make our lives easier. They want to sell us things, of course, and sometimes they're worth buying, and sometimes it's worth just going to their little free workshop and bringing home all the stuff. So, any questions? I don't want to go on and on, but
What you say?
how unfunded?
district.
Absolutely not. There are no local dollars that go to this. NSBA is a 50
CV.
it's not a C3, it's another. But anyway, it's a dues funded organization from states
Oh,
that belong,
gotcha.
so states belong to it. So that's how it's funded.
Thank you.
Yes, yep, but no local dollars go to there. Nothing more.
Great.
Look at us at 7:25.
Amazing.
Don't tell Pat.
Don't say anything.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
It's like being in the second quarter of a lacrosse game and being 10 goals ahead and saying, we're gonna win, and then you don't.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't jinx it. Okay, on Monday, May 13th, we are scheduled to meet in this room with the elected officials at 6 PM from each of the communities. So I would request, please, board members, mark your calendars. It's very important that we are here so that they know who we are and we know who they are. It's really important.
And they can ask questions about the budget. After
Absolutely.
the presentation,
Yes, yeah.
and you'll be able to respond to that.
And it helps us actually to be able to go out after that to see our neighbors and make sure that we're giving good information and concerns. So we just need to be
And
supportive and
the
helpful.
budget booklets that we mail out, those are in the process of being mailed.
Oh, they
So,
are?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
they're not quite there, but Martha's been working with the post office and Gabe's getting queued up to deliver this over
always a
6,000
process.
mailings.
It is a
out.
process.
We are our own mail service
Yes.
That
for a couple days.
that bulk mailing thing is not as easy as it might look.
So people will be getting those in the mail shortly.
Great.
Laura's got her hand up.
Oh,
Does
yes.
that include the student representative?
Yes, absolutely.
You don't have to come sign the 50 sheets after, right?
No, you don't have to sign your name 100 times, but
The
no, it would
budget
be-
meetings.
it would be really great
Yeah.
if our local town
Yeah.
representation knew that we have, I mean, they probably hear that we have student board members, but what a nice thing for them to come and see you and see how articulate and gifted you all are. How lucky we are to have had you.
Yeah.
Let's see, special board meeting to sign warrants, a requirement on May 16th, 2024. 4:30 or 5, what works best for folks? The earlier the better, I
Yeah.
would think.
I have to be in Portland at 5.
We usually
and
cycle in, I
later,
thought.
but-
And we can cycle through, we can have them available
Yeah.
at 4:30 and just come in and sign your name. Just make sure you sign it everywhere.
With the same.
With the right
With the
pen.
right pen.
Say Andrew, but I have a nice.
pen.
Andrea will have the nice pens and she will be standing at the door with a sword.
Okay, this is the first time I've
Yeah.
ever done this, so can you tell me what this is and?
You're signing each article for the budget, so you have to sign it several times within, it's all the warrants that go out that come to the budget meeting or the referendum meeting. It's those articles, and we just have to sign each one of those articles several times.
So for each town, all 4, there's like
Mhm.
3 copies times 4 that we all have to sign, and then each of them get a packet. Basically with the totals.
We
Yeah.
can't just photocopy it. We have to
No,
have your
it has to
original
have your
signatures.
original signature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you're given
Mhm.
one pen and you just keep signing until you're done.
yeah.
And Andrea waits with a
The pen is
sword.
gonna be there for us?
The pen will be
Yeah.
there,
Okay.
and
The
Andrea
guarded
will
pen.
find you if you steal the pen.
You
She
take
will
her
find
pen.
you.
Do not bring unto the paper.
Yes,
No.
that's right.
Oh, okay, that's a.
This is a pen-specific activity.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a guarded pen, and Andrea, if you're watching, yes, we
We
know
have
that about you.
learned, yeah.
Do you know the signature version of like early voting if we're unavailable that day?
I think we've done that before. I will just need to remind me, please, and
Yeah.
I will check with Pat to see if there's a time of day that you could come in and just do that.
Yeah.
I know we've done that before, if you
Yeah,
absolutely
well, we
cannot.
I think that might be,
Andrea in the
that
past,
might be
we've
a
done
drill
it
day.
before.
Yeah,
What's that?
If you coordinate with Andrea, you know, she can have them on standby.
True.
as
Yes.
long as she's ready.
So just
yeah.
remind me and I
Exactly.
will make sure that happens. So if anybody has a
Yeah. That would be
conflict or
easier.
absolutely cannot
Yeah,
do that.
I have to be in Portland at like 5, I think. So-
Okay,
I'll also make a note of it here. John
Perfect.
Thank
and
you.
Melissa.
perfect.
Next meeting.
Okay, yeah, my thing keeps going to sleep. Let's see, the budget meeting, the MSAD11 annual budget meeting, and that's where we take all those warrants, and they're created into a document. On Tuesday, May 28th, 2024 at 6 PM at the Gardner Area High School gym, where the public comes and we go article by article and the public can ask questions and we have a vote up, vote down as to whether to accept them as written. People can ask to, goes one way and not the other. They can remove things, ask us to remove things and have that voted on. They can ask us to put more money in, but they can't tell us how to spend the money once we've put it back in. Is that
Right.
right? That's correct.
Yes.
I got it right. So,
They can't earmark it for a certain purpose.
correct.
They
So
can only have it be within the article.
That's
Right.
right, yeah.
so like go in for heating oil or for utilities or something like that. And if the money goes in, then we get to decide the best way to use that money, those funds. So anyway, important to be there.
There is a bit of scripting with that, right? That
Yeah.
There is.
we will each be assigned,
I was gonna say, I thought that was this meeting.
who makes the motion and who makes the second to open discussion for the floor. So that part is fairly,
Scripted,
it is literally scripted.
literally
Thank you.
scripted.
And we have a moderator that comes in.
Greg Im, who is an attorney with Drummond and Woodson in Portland. He's our referendum attorney.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you probably hate to be called that, the referendum guy. But, so that's on May 28th at 6 PM in the gym. Then there is the school budget referendum on June 11th, where we all need to go vote, and that will be at the Boys and Girls Club all day.
Or in your
Or
town
in your-
voting spot.
In your town voting spot, the fire station in West Gardner, the fire station in Pittston, and the town hall in
Town
Randolph.
office in Randolph, yep.
Yep.
I don't know about Pittston.
I think it's up there.
Yeah, okay.
And then, now this is something we always struggle with, but I'm going to ask, please consider it. On Saturday, June 8th is our Gardner Area High School graduation at 5 PM in the Augusta Civic Center. The school board has a section that is for us to sit in that is typically fairly empty. And, and this is, yes, and this is our thing. I mean, we've been sitting here for all these years, watching all these kids and supporting these students to their greatness so they can walk across the stage. We need to be there and celebrate them. So I'm this short of begging to say, please come, because it means a lot. It means, some of these kids have lots of people that believe in them. Some of them have very few that believe in them. I believe in them. And I think that that's why we're here, is because we care. So let's please care and come to graduation. Even if we don't know anyone, let's band together as people who do this and have them do that. So
And Aura will be there.
Laura will be there.
I will be speaking one of my poems.
Yes,
poet
Poet laureate.
Please come.
Another reason for us to attend, so
Yeah,
please.
Agreed.
And it will be Lauren's first graduation
I was
with
just gonna
us.
say,
Oh, I attended last year, my first.
Right, you, right. But it's her first
Yeah.
like principalship role with us.
That's
so-
awesome.
Very excited.
Excellent.
Now, at the Civic Center, is there it's huge, so is it kind of sequential that a number of high schools will have graduation on the same day and then it's sort of in and out?
Different days,
Yeah.
but we all have the same night every single year.
Yeah,
So
everybody's got
one
theirs.
high school has Thursday night, one Friday night, we get Saturday night.
So we never bump into anyone.
Okay.
We're all good.
And our seats are like second row. So it's pretty awesome.
All the way to the front,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the board seats are good.
just
Yeah.
as you're looking at the stage, just the right, and it ends up being empty. And that feels
Maybe
bad,
not this year.
but maybe not this year. And if you want to bring your family, if you want to, ask for tickets. Lauren, how many tickets may we have?
I usually say two.
Usually about two, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after graduation, our celebration I mentioned is gonna be down in the waterfront, so there'll be senior celebrations, food truck parade, fireworks, and it's gonna be a community event, so. I
That's
encourage
awesome
you and
too.
invite you guys to join.
Very cool.
Great way to celebrate our kids, so. Excellent, all right. Summer school board workshop is to be announced because we need to work a little while we take some time off.
While we do summer.
Yeah, we have to do our continuous learning.
Yes.
Continuous
Lifelong
improvement.
learning, I call it,
Lifelong
right, Becky?
learners. I used to
Yeah.
say that up on that wall, but it doesn't
Mhm.
anymore. Yes, we need to be lifelong learners, and so a summer board workshop will be announced, and it will be fun.
And we will spend some time on the strategic plan that you'll be
Yes.
looking at in June and then getting into the weeds during your workshop.
Very good.
In the weeds, no bugs,
I'm sure there'll be other items too, but that one
Yes.
I know will be on it.
and probably food.
Usually we feed you.
If you feed them, they will come, so, you know. All right, superintendent reports.
Oh, I just came from here and I'm going back. We still have tickets for the next 2 nights for the Wizard of Oz.
Aura did a nice job also.
Yeah.
Trying to encourage participation.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Awesome.
Okay,
So.
Yes, you do.
So in lieu of Pat.
in lieu of Pat, we have Angela.
So as mentioned, the drama club at the Wizard of Oz, so if you wanna go, it's 7:00.
Yep.
So get some tickets. The Interact Craft Fair, I think Sage, you mentioned that in your report, so May 4th, 9 to 3 at the high school. The did you mention this one? MSAD11 art show?
I did not. Oh,
Yeah.
love the art show.
It's a district-wide
Yeah.
extravaganza. We have it every year. It's at the high school. Usually there's some community partners involved as well. It is very well attended. This year it'll be May 16th on a Thursday from 3:30 to 6.
It's the same day as the warrants.
Yes, it is. So you could go to the art show and then come here.
Or you
Or
could come here and then go to the art show.
And
It's a
that's a
great-
half day, right?
Yeah.
With an extended hour?
That is a half day with an extended hour, yes. Middle,
Just throw it all in.
secondary students will be in school until 12,
Okay.
and elementary students will be in school until 1. Staff will be extended as well,
Yeah.
and then there will be this art extravaganza before or after you sign your name. The Reach Showcase, so that's our gifted and talented programming, if you weren't sure what Reach stood for. It's independent learning projects showcased for students in grades 3 through high school. There's some APs, seminar and research projects that'll be presented as well. So that's Thursday, May 23rd, so a week later. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. at the middle school gym. It's usually also very well attended. Parking is tight. It's
Yep.
exciting.
And very cool projects
It is.
that kids bring.
Yeah.
And they stand next to them and share and are expected to answer questions, any question you can think of.
It's really
related
fun.
to their project.
Right,
Yeah.
to be well versed in
Yeah.
their topic. Absolutely.
The high school music concert is now scheduled for Thursday, May 30th. Every Thursday night, we could have you booked in the month of May, it looks
Yeah.
like.
Every single one.
So that will
Yes,
be
it's
7
great.
p.m. and that will be in the little theater at the high school, I
Okay.
think.
It might
Little
be,
theater?
it's either there or it's in the gym, one of the two.
Is it the
Yeah.
all bands
Gym,
concert?
sorry, it'll be in the gym.
Yeah.
I know that,
band
you
and
told me
chorus.
that.
Lauren, is it the
chorus.
all bands concert? Is that what it is?
The music concert, band and chorus?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
so
not all
in
the.
the gym then,
in the
right?
I don't know if fifth
Okay.
grade's come up or
Thank
not, I
you.
can't remember.
Okay, thank you. Moving along.
Does fifth grade come up on that one? Okay, can't remember.
I know, we did that already. I think that's
Okay,
done.
good. Academic awards for the high school, Wednesday, May 29th at 6 p.m. Class day for the high school, Thursday, June 6th in the morning from 8 to 10:30. That's usually in the gym still. Yep, great. The 8th grade award ceremony is Monday, June 10th at 8 a.m. And the adult education graduation
Mhm.
will be Tuesday, June 18th. I think we talked about this a little bit, but now we have a date and time for sure, at 5 p.m. Do you have a location yet?
Maple Hill.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Where the llamas are.
We're currently waiting to hear if some of the how many people we're gonna have, so
Oh,
we'll
good.
make a call a couple weeks out.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll have enough, but I'm hopeful.
Super.
On May 24th too, we're doing the Tiger Awards Assembly, which was that new academic assembly.
Oh,
we put
nice,
on
yeah.
Earlier, and we'd like to invite all of you to attend. this year.
nice.
So
That'll
that's
be
the
right now.
assembly that students are recognized and faculty or staff are
Yes.
recognized as well, right?
Yep,
It's
and-
usually in the morning, is it?
Yeah, it'll be right in the morning.
Okay. May 24th.
So would any board members find it helpful
Yes.
to receive an email from Martha or someone in this office with only dates on it that we need to be.
Like Lauren's calendar for the high school was very helpful, for example.
So we will do that.
Yeah,
Because I feel
that
like
was
there's a
great.
lot of numbers flying around
So
and,
we'll compile it with the dates of anything you're invited to,
yes.
May
the
and
times.
June, and where, the location, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And for new board members and old board members alike, if you've never been to Adult Ed graduation, it is a treat. I just love it. I love high school graduation, but Adult Ed, those people really want to be there. They have taken steps aside, not up or down, but aside, to make it work. And they really, really, truly want to be there. And it's just the most enriching experience to see the joy in the cheering of their families. They bring their children, some of them are 50, some of them are 20. It's just such a wonderful experience to see people want to grow and to be better, and to better themselves. It's so cool. So I encourage everyone, to enjoy that. It makes my heart happy. Anyway, I'll move along. Sorry about that. That's it. We're done. It is 7:38. Where's the superintendent when we need her?
We're just gonna have to tell her how efficient Angela is. I'm going with that.
There is no executive session. I would like you all to mark this down in history. Even I used few words like that.
How efficient.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go to adult ed graduation, let me know.